Allogene Therapeutics is trading at $2.39. We saw the share price spike to prices of over $4 over the last few days. And naturally, if we're holding the stock in the run up to these things, we can look back on these as opportunities to take money off the table. And when we look at where it's trading right now, there could be an opportunity to re-enter into this stock. It was the announcement that Allogene Therapeutics reports interim futility analysis from pivotal trial with cema-cel that caused this significant share price spike which we've seen. The report corresponds to this treatment in the pipeline right here, which you can see is progressing through phase 2. We can see here that it says cema-cel as well. Looking at the results from the interim futility analysis, 41.6% absolute difference in the cema-cel arm over the observation arm exceeded clinically meaningful benchmark based on literature of 25 to 30%. Essentially, it means that the cema-cel treatment worked 41.6% better than patients that weren't administered the cema-cel treatment, and it's well above the 25 to 30% range that doctors consider meaningfully effective. MRD reduction occurred rapidly following the cema-cel treatment with a 97.7 median decrease compared to a 26.6% median increase in the observation arm. This statement right here explains that the treatment rapidly wiped out disease signals, cutting them by almost 98%, and patients that weren't treated actually saw their disease markers increase by around 27%. It means the treatment appears to be very safe and easy to manage, with most patients treated outside the hospital and no serious adverse effects or events reported either. And this is really significant simply because these results suggest that the CAR-T therapy that Allogene Therapeutics are developing, the cema-cel treatment, could shift from a complex hospital-based treatment that requires a lot of supervision to a safer, lower-cost outpatient procedure, which is a lot easier to manage and administer. Patients would potentially have a much easier and safer treatment experience. It could potentially mean that hospitals free up resources and they're able to kind of focus on other patients that are critically ill, that are in intensive care or suffering from other serious medical conditions. We've seen here that no patients experienced serious side effects or adverse events from the treatment, and nobody needed to be admitted to hospital when administered with the treatment as well. And so this news significantly de-risks the treatment. It takes the company one step to commercial viability. Yes, there's still some way to go, there's still a lot of work to be done. It does bring them one step closer to a possible FDA approval for the treatment. And so like I was saying, there are still a number of hurdles to get through. The next step right now is really to build on this data by recruiting more participants into the trial so that they can hopefully develop continued compelling data and confirm that the positive results do actually hold up with a larger patient population. The company anticipates an interim EFS analysis in mid-2027. Essentially, we'll have to wait until 2027 to see whether or not the trial does hold up with a larger patient population pool. We will then have a final data readout, this primary EFS analysis in mid-2028, and this 2028 readout will be the final readout. Essentially, this is the one that will confirm whether or not the cema-cel treatment that Allogene Therapeutics are developing is strong enough to support a biologics license application, a BLA submission to the FDA, which could then lead to this possible FDA approval that shareholders are anticipating or holding on for. And so with all the positive news that we've received over the last week or so, and the anticipation of what could happen, you know, the developments that we could see both in the short term and the longer term with Allogene Therapeutics, we've seen 12 analysts offer a 1-year price forecast at a mean of $8.65.